It's called playing. Yes. Playing.
Basil's not playing.
Hazel buddy. You okay? Yeah. Right. It's okay. Friendly.
Rocket's like, I just want to play. I just want to sniff your butt. Yeah. That's a friendly way of saying hello. We're practicing not running out in the middle of the street, which thankfully Rocket really doesn't do anyway. Waiting for Gretchen to pick up some coffee. Good coffee. A nice decaf espresso. Those are strangers. They don't have treats for you. They're friends, kind of.
And she would make this dough like this, with this big, huge rolling pin. There's art, right?
Yeah, I'd say. But art you can eat.
Mm-hmm.
Homemade. Oh, you know, while you're in there, it'd be great if...
Sorry.
Your home has a CPAP machine. That's what it looks like in the window.
Gracias. Ciclones de bomba. Solo tenemos 4 más pronto. ¿Están bien ustedes? ¿Cómo forman? Son ciclones tropicales que intensifican rápidamente que causan un ciclón de bomba. Ciclones de bomba es como un tormenta de viento. A veces no puedes ir a tiendas para cosas importantes. Muchos árboles cayeron porque del ciclón de bomba, porque de su viento fuerte. La más vieja ciclón de bomba era descubierto en 1940. Ciclones de bomba usualmente ocurren en el invierno, pero pueden ocurrir cualquier tiempo. Algunos lugares que tenían ciclones de bomba eran Washington, California y muchos más.
If you choose to support me by becoming a member of this channel, that's a paid upgrade, just like $5 a month or more. Not only do you get an avatar next to your handle, but you get the vlogs ahead of time. And in this case, you get the next couple of vlogs ahead of time, or would have, had you decided to upgrade your membership. It would go a long way. The hardest part about 3D printing sometimes is choosing what to print next. There are so many models out there. Star Wars models, yes. Others as well, but Star Wars models. What's the next one I'm going to do? At least there's no question as to what's going to happen tonight. Getting together for another local Maker Deck meetup. Joel Telling will be there, as well as It's Boy in Space.
Okay, I'm gonna get on a map. Which one? I thought Colorado was right below.
The reason we did tonight's impromptu meetup was to connect with the makers of HueForge, the software that so many of us use to create designs and then print them. Yeah, these were all made in HueForge. So I got to meet the creator in person. They were breezing through town on their way to a 3D printing event happening in Japan this weekend. Oh, you'll have to pardon the cable running across the desk because I'm about to do another one of those vibe coding live streams in the YouTube channel and Twitch and LinkedIn and X and everywhere I stream. I'm watching Apple reveal their new interface, and I haven't seen it yet, I'm a little concerned. This is my reaction to what they're about to reveal at WWDC. And I hope to God it's not nearly as bad as iOS 7. Still looks the same. Okay. So is this like lipstick on a pig? Well, so much for that. I'll give it a shot. I miss using the iPhone. I really do.
That's not like a food photography photo there.
No, I know. It's a video.
Oh.
Yeah. That's why I'm not too worried about it. I was just going to brag on you that you've created an award-winning egg salad that's completely vegan, but you couldn't convince me that it was vegan. It tastes exactly like egg salad. And now you can't remember how you did it?
Well, I hybridize other people's copycat recipes, so it's not like my own original creation. I can't take all the credit here.
Oh, you should.
It's a lot of people.
Okay, you may not take all the credit, but I'm taking all this. I hope you made more. Or are you going to make more? Okay, good, because this is like bomb. Do you like your iPhone, how it works?
On to a different topic.
Yeah, no one wants this chair. Couldn't even give it away. You know how many farts live on in that cushion? They never died, never went anywhere. Well, someone is going to inherit this and hopefully know what history it had. I would say I miss it, but quite honestly, you know, I'm happy with my Darth Vader chair, despite it squeaking. We need to lube it later, Gretchen. The chair. We need the chair. We're getting you a new computer. This thing's almost old as I am. 2013, might as well.
I'm only seven updates behind. Is that what
Well, like for OS, but I think we could update this OS. It's just you don't have enough room on your
So I can't.
storage. But, I mean, it is functional. It has worked this long. It's just definitely slower than, you know, it could be. The bezel on this is just chonky. We're going to upgrade your life.
You're going to help me.
And I'm going to be so jealous because I've been wanting to upgrade too. I've been wanting to upgrade so badly.
That's good because you want to spend some time, you know, on the new device.
Yeah, it's a great thing.
Helping me.
Yeah. Oh, helping you? Yeah, no, yeah. I thought you meant, yes, it would be great for me to upgrade. I just can't. I know I've got to figure out how to get there. So, I mean, I couldn't necessarily crowdfund, but the more people who become YouTube members or Twitch subs or, you know, upgrade their newsletter subscription, that would go a long way for me to be able to upgrade to Google AI Ultra so I can develop more because I released, 4 new tools in the arcade last night. And then that everybody can play with, then to be able to further justify the upgrade, right? So I would just like a faster computer than the one that I have. It would go a long way, but I need help. Not from you. I'm kind of asking everybody else. In fact, I did. I sent out a newsletter this week saying, hey, here's what I've done. Here's what I plan on doing. Here's how you could help. And you know how many people responded to that?
How many?
20% open rate on that newsletter. Subscribers I've had for eons. So that tells me one of two things. It tells me, A, what I'm doing is worthless, or B, I don't seem to be connecting with the people that I might need to connect with, or C, people don't quite understand what it is that I'm doing or trying to do, or D, there's no value in doing what it is that I'm doing, or E, maybe, you know, people aren't in a position to be able to support. So there are a lot of possibilities, and I don't have any answers, but that's not going to keep me from trying and continuing to try. Thank you for the look of concern. Those are not laptops.
But they're sparkly.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, you know, really.
You'd fit in them, I'm sure.
How can you not stop for sparkling?
Well, you know what they say. If the shoe fits. Gretchen keeps asking really good questions, and she does constantly, and then we get done with the conversation, and I think, we should have recorded it. So she's got my phone, and she's going to record the questions that she's asking, or try to at least frame it or reframe it.
Yes, because you were, well, it sounds weird to say, because it sounds very egotistical to say, like, you were making money because people were just kind of consuming you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
And, like your life, your story, your and now your content has become this drop in the ocean of content.
Yep.
And so figuring out what is the thing that gives buoyancy is what you're trying to figure out.
It's true. That's what I did. At least in the beginning arc of this so-called career, that's what it was. And I just figured out how to pay the bills using the tools at my disposal at the time, where not a lot of people were creating, right? So I was a loud voice. Well, now, as you pointed out, right, I'm a grain of sand on the beach.
Well, also, I mean, you did have particular and do have particular things that were your and are your passion, so that they were the kind of your magnet, or yes.
Yeah, but that's changed.
Yes.
Like even technology to a large degree, my interest in it is like radically shifted for me. And now there's like 1 billion
Yes.
tech creators out there, and they're all looking the same, sounding the same,
right?
Chasing that same thing, and I'm just like, I don't know if that's interesting to me. I mean, I
Right.
did it.
Yes.
And I'm fine. I would do it again, sure, if it worked and it fit. But making it work and fit doesn't happen the same way.
Yeah.
In a day and age of an algorithm, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not cut and dry. It's no longer as simple as if you build it, they will come.
YouTube, at first it was like, oh, you're one of the first people using YouTube, and it, like, to make the analogy with AI, right? Like, before people couldn't do all this stuff that now they can do, so same with the YouTube, right?
Yeah.
It's the same
principle. So I have to figure out, well, how am I going to reframe my skill set? What is my interest? What is my passion? What drives me? Where do I feel exhilarated? And I mean, I'm telling you, I've been bitten by this bug, in a way that I'm just like, dude, I could do this. I'm developing apps. I'm developing software. I'm making it happen. Like, it's not like pie in the sky. Like, it's legit. I don't know what it's going to add up to, but I now have, in a little over a month's time, like close to 30 different web apps and games that I created that are usable. They're separate products. But any one of those things I can't necessarily charge for. They're not worth that much. So how do I generate revenue? Well, I could potentially, rent my services out, right? Consulting, right? But who's biting? Who's nibbling? Who needs something like that? Who needs, and what value could I add that they can't get, on their own? And so that's where I just keep doing and making and creating, feeling like I'm going to find that strategy out of the action of creating. Let's get a computer for you. I want a computer. You're going to have a faster computer than me.
No, really?
Yeah. I want a new one so badly. So badly. You have no idea. I can taste it. How much I want to upgrade. I can taste it.
How many computers do you have?
Really just, I've got the Stream PC, the Windows PC, that was given to me when I was at Intel. And the Mac is the one that I need to upgrade because I want to do more local stuff. Phone. Yeah, well, phones, yeah, for sure. I mean, phones are computers these days.
Yes.
You can do more on the phone than you could on my first computer, that's for sure.
There you go.
But it's, what used to be easy is now difficult, and what used to be difficult is now easy.
But you are practicing creativity within constraints in a certain way. Like, right?
Which isn't a bad thing,
right,
but
exactly.
It's also like, how am I going to... Here's the problem I have. How am I going to afford that monthly subscription? Dude, I'm already pulling back on a lot of stuff that I'd get. That would be a nice to have, but it may become a critical to have. That's one problem I have. What am I going to do to be able to get that kind of monthly revenue coming in steady so I can do more things for people? Are the people interested in the things that I want to do? You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
Does anybody care? Does anybody give a flying fig that I'm creating these apps? Do they care? I don't know. I have no feedback whatsoever.
No feedback.
No feedback is feedback. I know, but that's what I'm saying. Am I connecting with the wrong audience? Are the people who know me the wrong people for this particular prospect? Because I can't do what I did 10, 20 years ago. Yeah. It doesn't work.
And so if they are the wrong audience, how do you find your audience?
So again, trying something different, reaching out and making connections with other people. I mean, this is what I did, over and over and over again, but it just gets more and more difficult the more time goes on.
Which is kind of wild because in some ways it's like do you reach out in real life with real people, or are you reaching out
Both.
through the internet?
Both.
Okay.
I love donations, just like you love donations for just putting things out there for free. But to be able to say, here's what you're supporting, here's what you're enabling, here's what you're helping make happen, here's what you get in return, right? This is what you get. And that's what kept me from doing a lot of content over the years, because I just couldn't figure out the answer to that prospect. I was putting so much out there and doing so much for other people, but it was not an equal relationship. Through nobody's fault. It's just how the industry evolved. When I get comments, drive-bys, that say, oh my God, Chris, I remember you 10 years ago. I'm like, I didn't die. Not that I know of, and I already know 99 times out of 100, the person who says that is going to forget me for another 10 years. And I think that's what hurts the most. It's like, well, you remember me and we made a connection. Why does that connection have to disappear? Because now social media and algorithms, and there's just so much going on that I realize it's not sustainable for anybody.
But, okay, these kind of comments that you don't like from these people.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not that I don't like them.
but,
I appreciate being a part of their nostalgia.
Yes,
they got busy, they went to school, they got married, they had kids, they had a life. You fall off of radars all the time.
Right.
And my bigger question is, what is it going to take to have you stick around?
Yes.
And no one can answer that question because they're flooded with stuff.
Yeah. And you had the other thing you didn't talk about that is this part of your identity, not like it's the totality of your identity, is like your Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, which I love.
I mean, but again,
doesn't pay the bills,
right? Yeah,
it's the one thing that doesn't piss me off. So
I think the people who like watch your live streams, they are also people who are messing around with all of this creative
not
stuff.
A lot of them.
So are they learning from you? I
would like them to learn from me. I would, but I don't think they're paying attention. The people that I would want to have learn from me aren't paying attention. And the people who are doing it and showing up, we're helping each other, but they're not enough of them right now.
Yeah.
Because I haven't been active in that space. Even though I've been active in this space and technology, people want to relegate me to, no, you need to talk about the latest iPhone, and that's all I care about hearing from you. That's frustrating. Because I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't. I just can't. I cannot fathom doing that. It's not interesting.
Yeah.
For more than a day.
Yeah.
And then I'm like,
right.
Okay,
you have to find
I've got to do
that
something that
makes your spark keep sparking. Which some of the things that make your spark keep sparking, I think that you've talked about too, though, are like community events. Like
I'm still working on figuring out. I've got to stage another meeting for the big maker one. I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I know people will be interested. I'm going to try not to lose money.
Yeah.
Story of my life, trying not to lose money. Creating things for other people. Trying not to lose money in creating things for other people. Which is the whole prospect behind Patreon. It rings true. You want to create for other people, but you got to figure out how you want to create. You've got that creative spark in you, but like, you can't just play the cello. That doesn't work unless you get gigs, unless you sell albums, unless people buy your stuff online. You know, that's...
I have products, and so that's why
you understand what I'm saying.
And I guess the different kinds, because I have performances and I have products of recordings,
but
and
products and services, and that's the thing that I've been trying to figure out. The things that I think would work aren't. So I'm like, I gotta think bigger. I gotta think different. I gotta wrap myself differently. I gotta package myself differently, even if half the people that know me, if not all the people that know me, don't understand.
Which might not be bigger. I'm just gonna
throw that
out
it may
there.
not. No, it's true.
Be...
I have no problem going smaller. It's not about audience size. It's not about reach. It's about what kind of impact. How does this measure up?
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather do less for more than more for less.
Yes.
And the problem is that the delta is very, very. There's a fine line between those two. Very fine line, because what used to work doesn't anymore, and that's the hardest thing to explain to someone who wants me to do the thing that I used to do. Because I can't.
Because you lived in a land where the boundaries shifted, and you're still in that land, and you're in a different country now.
And I've been trying to like forge a path forward, and I can only do so much. So it's
a lot of remaking.
But I've been doing it for so long that I'm just like, what's the point of trying to do something that doesn't seem to work? even though it's working for me, that doesn't mean anything. Like, unless it's a massive Venn diagram where, you know, find what you love, find someone willing to pay for you to do what you love, and make enough to be able to eke out a living.
Geeky guy. Or that's the thing,
Is that
right?
what it
From
is?
Folk Life, the theme this year was
yeah.
about, okay, we can revisit that. That Venn diagram, essentially.
Venn
is what,
diagram.
Yeah, of that concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get you a computer.
Okay.
Pink to match your shirt. Well, I guess it's not technically pink, but it's pinkish.
What was it called?
I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
Yeah, they make up
Says
weird
it on
names.
there.
How does it feel?
It feels heavy. It feels
Okay,
substantial. This feels like a substantial, like my life is going to be
Changed.
improved.
It will be changing fast because
Yeah.
it's substantially faster,
I will be able to use the latest
Yeah.
versions of the music notation software,
which is great.
and I won't constantly be trying to delete like
Files.
little. Yeah.
Yep. That was.
And it'll be so fast. I'll be like a sports car.
Well, let's not get ahead of
Okay, all right.
ourselves.
For me, I'm
Yeah.
a walker. I'll be like jogging, you know, right?
Running.
Or jogging. I don't know. I mean, I'll be moving faster than walking.
When I say that I could do this indefinitely, it's not an exaggeration. I would love to continue to build these types of apps and even show people how to do this for themselves, because it's been a ton of fun. I'm never going to be short of ideas, and I just keep adding more and more and more, seemingly with every passing day, or certainly every passing week. Last night, I uploaded 4 new apps to the arcade, including a working weather app. For sure, this absolutely works. This is real data, and I made it simply by telling it what I wanted. Like, I really didn't touch a line of code, and I've got a working weather app that you could use as well in the arcade. You just enter in your city. I also made this, working with glass and creating kind of an interactive sort of, like, I guess, toy more than anything. I may iterate further to add a bit more depth to the scrolling emoji that are going on in this grid. But this was it was just fun. I mean, more than anything, that's what I've been having. I've been having a lot of fun. And right now I'm working on putting the finishing touches on a collaborative tool, which works. This is functional. You could use this tool when it goes onto the arcade and connect with anybody, basically, and chat audio, video, peer-to-peer without connecting to a server. So it's, you know, completely private in that capacity. But yeah, it's a live whiteboard that you can start using. Like, anybody can start using, like, right now. I mean, so I'm having fun. I've been having function, and something in between. Right here is where you can find more information. I don't know if this design is what I'm going to stick with forever, but, you know, I just want this arcade to be fun. What I'm asking for is support, help in whatever way you could give it. I'd like to believe that I could figure out a way to provide even more of a benefit for the direct supporters. I don't know what that is. And when I say direct support, like upgrading your YouTube subscription to a membership, right? Or being a patron again, or being a Twitch sub, or upgrading your newsletter subscription, whatever that happens to be. It'll all add up. And I just feel like this is the direction I want to go. I just don't know how to put a finer point on it, apart from having fun, showing y'all what I'm doing, having y'all play with what I'm doing, use what I'm doing. You know, we can inspire each other, but certainly I'm not going to slow down anytime soon. This is just, it's too much fun. It's almost kind of cathartic. Over all these years not being able to build product, now I can build product. This is amazing. Gretchen's got willpower. She is going to wait until tomorrow for me to set up her new laptop. I got to transfer all the files over.
Yeah, that's mine.
No, we've got to figure out how we're going to earn one, how we're going to get the money to get the things that we want.
I want a Kindle.
A Kindle?
Yes.
Are you going to read?
Yes.
Looks like you just had a whole bunch of green mashed potatoes. Where did I put the fire spray? There we go. Okay. Staring right at it. Hang on. See if I can get it in there just like that. Okay, good enough. Still Still have to figure out where I'm going to be putting these Lego heads.
Physically, it feels fine. Emotionally, I don't know.
It's singing at you. No, that part's supposed to stay on. You just broke the screen.
Bonjour. Hello.
Apple does make this super simple. I did it for the free back rubs. Helping her set up her new computer and being jealous. I am jealous. But I did today flesh out kind of a pitch deck of sorts, outlining what I think could be Locker Gnome 2.0. And a while ago, I kind of put it out there saying, hey, if I built something, would the community be willing to support it? And people did respond to that. But I didn't have a way to put a finer point on what it was that I wanted to build, what it was that I wanted to do. I felt it was about education, empowering people. And the Locker Gnome 2.0 I'm talking about doing is still in that vein. But basically turning Locker Gnome into a place where people can get help or share their expertise in and around AI and prompting or their portfolio, the things that they're building, looking for help. I mean, this is kind of like the culmination of what's interesting to me as well as what I think is going to be valuable in the future for everybody. We have all these prompts. I have all these prompts and they're scattered everywhere. Some I've got on Discord, some I've got in Notes, some I've got in Keep. I've got them everywhere. And there's no organized place for them all, for me. And so I thought, well, what if I created a way to store them in lockers? Like, here's my locker of all my favorites, prompts around image generation. And here's my locker for prompts around, business plan development. Or, you could have different lockers. Or you could basically follow other people's lockers. Or you could share your lockers with other people. And you're all gnomes on the site. You're all just little gnomes, right? So it makes sense. Locker Gnome finally makes sense. It's just going to take a while.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
I'm here tonight.
Yeah, good. Oh, look at that. Just by you giving me a back rub, it's already gone down in terms of our time expectations. So, yeah, it's
Relaxing
working.
into the transfer.
Kind of. It knows.